Oh, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi.
Hi, this is my granddaughter. This is my granddaughter. And today we want to make some brownies. And we just love, we love to use my old cookbook.
Just dumped flour
And it
everywhere.
is called Better Homes and Gardens New Cookbook. And as you can see, I use it a whole lot. It's one of my best cookbooks that I have, and I can't get rid of it because it's got all the good stuff in that we use. So, today, as you can see, granddaughter, it's a little strange, but that's okay. That's okay. And we've really had some hard times this week because her uncle, my son, he's in the hospital. He has Crohn's, and I've been spending a lot of time in the hospital, but I love my granddaughter, and she loves to bake. And I knew she could do this herself, but we need 2 batches of brownies today, not just 1. So we decided we're going to bake. And she wanted brownies, so we got the favorite cookbook out. So all we did was we just went to our favorite little store in our favorite little town, which is called Pleasantville, and it's in Pennsylvania. And we just went to our favorite little dollar store, and all we're using is our little butter called Clover Valley, and it is just salted butter. Oh wait, yeah, I don't know. Clover Valley might have come from the dollar store. It might have, but I don't know. We just get the cheap butter, but we love butter. We only want to use real stuff butter. So, we've already put our butter in. Oh, my granddaughter, she had to run over to her Uncle Simon and tell him to be quiet because, yeah, she likes to dance too. We should have some music on because she just loves to dance all the time. All right, granddaughter, we've put our butter in already, as you can see, and you have to whip it. Usually we use our favorite KitchenAid, but because we're doing 2, but you just want to get it nice and soft and do this with it. Show them yours, granddaughter. So hers is the same way. So now, our next thing that we put in, it calls for 2 squares of unsweetened chocolate. Now, we've already have it measured out, but 2 squares is equal to 2 ounces. But because we've doubled the batch, we had to put in a cup of butter, and we know already that 2 squares equal 2 ounces. Now, I am using the old Nestle's Toll House chocolate, and mine is going to be a little lighter than hers, but I use both. I like both chocolates, so it doesn't matter whichever one I get at the store. Now, and she's using the Hershey's chocolate. Now, you have to hold your own. I don't hold yours. You hold yours, granddaughter. Hold still, granddaughter. So anyway, she uses the old Hershey cocoa stuff because we really like that. We really like the Hershey chocolate syrup. Yes, that's our favorite too. So, granddaughter, you're using that. Shh, don't make no noise, grandson. So, anyway, here is what I'm using. So, I will use 4 ounces of the Nestle's chocolate, and I have it right here. And 4 ounces is the same as a 1/2 cup. So I will dump mine in. My granddaughter will dump hers in. So now we'll just mix that all up like that. And I like to take 1 step at a time because it makes look at that. That's what you wanted to do. You wanted to make it so it's going to be there it goes again, a little fluffy again. No, I am going to use my little, no, not yet. I'm just going to keep mixing it around, mix and mix. So here we are, we're mixing. Now our next step is going to I forgot to get the sugar out. So I'm going to have to, granddaughter, she's going to go get her sugar out. And we're just mixing and mixing. Now I'm going to be a step ahead of her because sugar and flour, dear. Now, because we bake a lot, I buy in bulk, and people always laugh at this, but this is my sugar. I usually get 25 pounds or 50 pounds. Then I keep it in big jars. So that would be our sugar. And here you can put the flour down there. And she has the flour, and the flour's in the same kind of container. Now, do you have yours all mixed up with your butter?
No.
Because I do mine.
You
Look
have
at
more
that.
time.
Would you like me to mix yours or can you get yours?
You can mix it. I got butter.
Oh, look at that. She worries about getting butter on her hands all the time. And the other thing I have to say to her all the time, whenever you're cooking and it just dry, oh, don't do that. It's just butter and chocolate. Whenever you're cooking, you never let your hair hang down. Like right now, my hair's hanging in my eyes, and I don't like that.
My hair's hanging down.
Don't do that because it just looks disgusting. Whenever I go into a restaurant and I see these girls, they have their hair pulled up, but it's in those ponytails and it's flipping and flopping back there, and they're carrying food over to the table, and I'm thinking, whatever happened to having your hair pulled back and just keeping it all tied up in here or something? Because that flipping and flopping, you bring me a long hair and my food in the restaurant, you're going to get it back. I don't like long hair stuck in my food when I get it in the restaurant. If I owned a restaurant, you know what? Your hair would be pulled back, and if you can't pull it back, you're going to wear a hairnet. So, anyway,
I want to be tall.
your hair should never, ever be swinging around when you're playing in food. Really, a hairnet would be the best, but if you can, okay, granddaughter, blah, 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 there's yours. Now, I don't know if you can see this or not, but I'm using the Nestle's, and mine is a little lighter than hers, and she's using the Hershey's, and hers is a little darker. Okay, our next step, it calls for 1 cup of sugar, but because we have doubled it, we're going to need 2 cups of sugar. So, and I always use my Pampered Chef. I love my Pampered Chef. My Pampered Chef mixed cups are just great. That's not Pampered Chef. I don't want that one. My Pampered Chef one, I actually have 2 sets of these. And I really like it when I get my little teeny tiny one. I have my little teeny tiny, here. My little teeny tiny one. I really like this little teeny tiny one from Pampered Chef. So if you don't know what Pampered Chef is, look it up and then find somebody that sells Pampered Chef, because I love my Pampered Chef stuff. Well, she's going to start with her 2 cups of sugar, and I will be right back. Here's your 2 cups of sugar. You get your 2 cups of sugar.
Oh, I made a mess already.
You made a mess already. She just loves to make a mess all the time.
Yes.
She makes a mess all the time. Okay, I'm back. And see, I have more Pampered Chef stuff. They come in, this is like a 4-cup one, we've got 2-cup ones, we've got 1-cup one, and then I go way down to this little 4 tablespoon one. She just loves to make a mess. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my 2-cup one since I have to have that. Now put these ones aside for right now. Now, I don't sell Pampered Chef, but I do know somebody in my area does, and her name is Priscilla. And Priscilla is a fantastic salesperson. Seriously.
Her?
Priscilla's, no, not the Priscilla you know.
Okay, good.
This is a different Priscilla. But she's a fantastic. You really did make a mess.
Yeah.
Here's something else from Pampered Chef. That's really good. I love this. If you have meat in your, hamburger in a skillet and it's not quite unthawed, you just push this down and it just breaks that meat up. So this is from Pampered Chef, and that's great. I know. Let's get back to making get back here. Stir your sugar in. Let's go.
Can I use this?
Now, keep using the other thing, or else you may get a wooden spoon now. You know, they have bamboo, like wooden spoons. Oh, she put that right in front of us. She is just a little...
What in front of us?
Granddaughter, blah, 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 blah. She is just something else. Now, there she goes. She wants to stand on something to be taller. Oh, I just made a mess too. But
see?
You know what? Baking is called make a mess. Whoever remembers their grandmother and their grandmother cooking, and she would say, just get a cup of it. And she had that old white cup. Well, you know what? I have an old white cup like that too. And it's just, she would just use her old white cup, or she would take her hand and she'd put it in the flour and say, okay, I need this much. And she'd just put it in. And you knew what size grandma's hand was, and she just knew how to use it. So there's our 2 cups of sugar.
This
We're
sugar
gonna mix
looks
it around.
really good to eat.
Yeah. Well, that's I think is a bamboo spoon from Pampered Chef. So I do like bamboo, the utilities stuff that they have from Pampered Chef, but I do use other stuff too. It's not just Pampered Chef, and I'm not trying to push Pampered Chef or Hershey's or Coke, Nestle's or anything like that. But these are just the things that I like to use, and I know that they're good products. But anyway, blah, 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 over here, she loves to bake. She has been baking with me since she could walk. Since she could walk. And I have 2 other granddaughters. One is called Lily, blah, 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 granddaughter Lily, and blah, 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 granddaughter Robin. And her Robin, she was named after a big guy, which was my nephew, and sadly, for some reason, he passed on and went to live with God when he was only 40. Don't know why, just did. Heart gave out, but I guess God figured he was done. And goes on and on, you know, family goes on and on.
How did you get it like that already?
Because look how I use my spoon. You see, I'm way down here like this, and I use that one so that when I'm in there like that, my little spoon bends. See, I use the top of it like this. I have it like this, and then the top of this bends, and it bends down so that I can kind of mush it together like we mushed. You have to mush. You know how to do. No, well, no, we've always used my KitchenAid. I love my KitchenAid too. I would never, anybody that gets a product that you need for your kitchen, you get a KitchenAid. You don't have to get the most expensive one, because I don't have the most expensive one. I just have, oh, look, see, but now if you want to just smash it together,
You mean?
you use this one and you just smash it together. Now you do that. I don't want to do it for you.
Why?
Because how does anybody learn something if you do it for them? You may show them 1 or 2 times and say, okay, now it's your turn. You go and do it. So we don't want to just go in there and say, I'll do it, even though it might get done quicker by us doing it. We have to let them do it. Just like me being in the hospital with my son up there. I've stayed every night with him for over a week and a half. And he is 20 years old, but he would call and say, Mom, I really hurt. And of course that old mom thing would kick in, and you would run up to the hospital, and I slept on a cot. And my poor granddaughter, blah, 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 here, she would have to be down here, and she'd be picking up in my house. Even though she has her own house to live in, her mom and dad live up the road, but it's like, it wasn't fair to her. Okay, now this calls for 2 eggs, so I've got to put in 4 eggs. She must put in 4 eggs. But the one thing I teach them is crack your eggs in a bowl. Never, ever, ever crack them right into your mixtures. So, blah, 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 blah. We need bowls.
Take your
May-
eggs.
May you get us 2 bowls? Blah,
No.
blah, blah, blah. Please.
No.
And we're using Corralware because, like, some of this Corralware is antique Corralware. Some of it I find it's Goodwill.
No, these are your eggs. We
Oh,
need 4.
that's right. We need 4. You keep handing me eggs. See? But anyway, the Goodwill. Goodwill, I call it my Goodwill boutique. Oh, I love my Goodwill. Do you like my Goodwill boutique?
Yes. Yes, I do.
See?
Oh, I should probably move this.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Goodwill boutique. That's what we call it. I get mad though sometimes because you go in there and their prices are skyrocketed. Everything is handed to them. Everything is given to them. And their prices make me mad. Because, come on. They have a dresser donated to them and they want $80 for it. Now, I think that's a little ridiculous. Now, I understand that they have workman's comp and they have taxes and they have all that kind of stuff. But he started out as a place to help people that were handicapped or needed a jar.
You took my egg.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had 4. Now you have 4. See? 1, 2, 3.
I know how to count.
She just likes to interrupt me when I want to roll about something that just really bothers me. So anyway.
Welcome. It's
Oh, I'm sorry. She doesn't like to have anything laying around. I'll just clean her up later. Just throw it aside. We'll just take care of it. So anyway, over here.
Well, I need my space. You not see this? You got space.
I'm sorry. I'm in her space. How can I be in her space?
Now you're in my space.
She was in my space all morning long.
I woke her up early.
Well, it wasn't really early, but
It was still early.
But my phone rang at 5:30 this morning, and I was so tired, and my phone is right beside me, and I never heard it. Can you believe that? So I must have been tired, but I never went to sleep till 4:30, so I guess that's what it counts for, you know. All right, I'm all right then. All right, so I'm dumping my eggs into my bowl, out of my old corral.
Oh, I don't have the same bowl.
Oh, well, see, yours is an old corral, though, too. So now I would just set it aside somewhere.
I'm just going to sit right now.
Ah, don't set it there. Don't sit there. And now I will take my spoon like this. Now your finger goes here. No, your finger, not your thumb. And when you do it, you just start pushing it in, pushing it in. And we stir, and we stir, and we stir. My back really gets sore standing here. But,
Sit down. You have a chair.
oh, I know, but I got to get myself back into shape again, you know? It's just, yeah, I got that grandmama thing going on, you know? They change your medicine and then you really get crazy. Okay, let's see. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Look at that going now.
That's not
you
going
can
in.
start, yeah, start going like this. Start doing that real beat. Beat that egg now. Beat it in there like that.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Oh, come on. You know why our arm's tired? Because these kids don't get outside and run anymore.
I do.
They want to sit in the house and play these games on these video games. No way.
Your bowl's much cleaner.
Well, that's because I keep going
That's
like
what I'm
this.
doing. And guess what? Still dirt.
All right. You want to mix mine and I'll get your bowl cleaned up?
Yes.
She just is, I can't believe, she's been cooking since she's been 2. She really has. Yes, you have been, and you know it. When it was just her and me, because her mom, well, she's been, oh, don't do that. She always
It
likes
looks
to.
delicious.
Now look at this. You see this?
It does. It really does.
Look at the difference in colors. I just can't believe. Now that's Nestle's. That's Nestle's.
Nestle's is pretty smooth.
Well, yours is smooth too. Yours is very smooth too. It's just a different colors. They must use different kinds of cocoa beans or something, or they come from different places, or they process them different.
I
But
really want to eat it.
you can't eat it
Why?
because we're on TV, so it's different.
We're not
It's
on
different.
TV.
But anyway, we love brownies, so we are making 2 batches. All right, messed up my bowl, girl. Anyway, so here we are again. Oh, you know what? Nobody's going to want your brownies because you want to stick your fingers in it. Now that we have got our sugar and our eggs. Now, ours calls for vanilla, but we know that pure maple syrup, and we make our own maple syrup. You know, we tap the trees, we bring the water in, we boil it down, and we make our own maple syrup. And this was some maple syrup that we actually made last year because you can hold it over and it stays good. And because of certain circumstances, we didn't make a whole lot this year. But instead of putting in a teaspoon of vanilla, we're going to put in 2 teaspoons of maple syrup. So she has hers and I have mine. And because I have a hard time seeing, it takes me a while to find what I want. So I will put in 2 teaspoons of maple syrup. 1, 2.
Give me that maple syrup.
And that's what I like to use because I know that that's all natural. As for eggs, I usually have my own eggs too, but because my granddaughter over here. And because the stupid fox up there has taken all but one of my chickens.
What?
And I have one chicken.
You have two.
I have my rooster.
And your
I have a rooster and a hen. And then I have a baby one. But she was kind of mean. She stomped the other
Her
four.
name's Killer. I said Hillary.
No.
That's our cat's name.
She named her cat Hillary because Hillary is
A meanie.
a meanie. So, and I guess you can tell that we were Republicans. And we're Trump fans too. So anyway, we come from Trump country.
This is what Trump people do.
No, Trump people were smart and we are happy. We said, go Trump. Go. Hey, don't do that. That's what Hillary people do. That's what Hillary people do.
We have a cat named Hillary. So what am I? A Trump or Hillary? We have a cat named Hillary and we're...
Well, that's because you only have a cat named Hillary because Hillary is mean. So now we're going to do, how much is 3/4 and 3/4?
6/4?
No. Yes. You do 3/4 and 3/4. So if you do 3/4 and 3/4, you're going to take 1/4 from 3/4, and you're going to add it to the 3/4, which is going to make 1, which then is going to leave you 1 1/2.
Okay.
So you're going to need 1 1/2 cups of flour. So you're going to need 1 1/2 cups of flour. So do you want to get, here's the 2-cup one. Well, you have a 2-cup one. And you want to bring the flour down here?
No.
Yes.
No.
All right, bring that flour down here.
Can you move the maple syrup?
Oh, I'll move the maple syrup.
I call the flour first.
Here we go. My big old jars. Big old
Okay,
ones.
what do we use to...
What do we use to take it out of there with? We can,
This.
Oh, yeah, we'll just use that.
Wait, was it half?
It's 1 1/2.
Oh, that's a lot.
1 1/2. We have a hard time getting it out of there.
Yes, but it gets a lot.
1 1/2 cups of flour. Look how nice that is. Kind of nice and smooth. And we're doing it by hand. Now, this would have been done a lot longer ago if we would have been used. Whoop! I just spilled it on my book. Oh my goodness.
No!
Oh my goodness. No. My favorite book. Not my favorite book. No. We can't do this to my book.
The book!
The book. The book.
Precious,
the book. Oh,
precious
see?
book.
My precious book. I don't know how to fix
Stay
my book.
clean.
Stay clean.
Where's the thing?
Oh, there we
I
go.
just shoved it in here.
I don't know how to get my book fixed. And I know when you go buy one of these books now, it's not like this book. This book, it doesn't tell you to go to the store and get a can of soup. This book tells you, you know, pull out a can of tomatoes or pull out, you know, if you have a garden.
I'll do yours.
Have a garden. What are you doing, Sonny? What are you eating?
Her food.
Oh. If you have a garden, you go out to your garden, you know, and you get so many tomatoes, or you put in, you know, so many pounds or whatever. That's what I like about it, because you're really, really cooking.
And you're actually getting real information and real food.
And you're getting real food, and it's coming from our gardens, so that when we're making foods, we it's 1 1/2.
No, not yet.
Sure, a little bit. Okay, it's 1 1/2. All right. Now we can slowly. We're gonna slowly. Yes. Slowly put it in, but hold your.
I want to show them something. Can I?
No, not while we're baking. You know that the roll is. Listen, roll is no animals. Lay down.
Sit.
Hey, no! Go to your room. Go to your room. Right now. Go to your room. No animals while you're doing this. And see, because we're in our home, now if we were out somewhere, you don't do it. But
that wasn't slow.
put some in and mix it in and then add some more. That is what you're doing. Let's see. Who's trying to get me? Oh, okay.
Who is it?
It's just a text message, you know. You know, what did we do without our phones? People text you and they want to... It's nothing important, so I wasn't worried about it. If it were my son, it would be different. Because he is in the hospital. But I do know, come Monday, please, everybody have your prayers because he is going to be operated on. He is 20. He's had Crohn's since he was 11 years old. And he's had problems. And he was in the hospital last month for his birthday. And they sent him home. And things just weren't getting better at home. So we called his doctor. Sent him back, now he's getting surgery. We called his doctor and they told us what to do and we did that and it didn't work and they told us just to take him to an emergency room and we did. So we've seen another doctor and that doctor, they checked him out there and then we had to see a surgeon and that surgeon said that we were really out of options now, so we going to have him operated on. We really wanted to go up to Cleveland Clinic, but because of the insurance we have, couldn't go there. That's the other thing. You know, insurance really upsets me. If you have a pre-existing condition, don't let anybody fool you. Because if you have to buy your own insurance and you have to get it yourself, pre-existing conditions still do exist. If you get into a group policy and you're on a group policy at work, you're okay. But we have a small business, very, very small business.
So we get money.
And with that small business, it's cheaper for us to get private policies. And to get the private policies, we're not eligible. We have pre-existing conditions. And pre-existing conditions mean we'd have to go without our medicines for a year in order for them to cover us. Well, we can't go without our medicines for a year. I get a shot in my eye. I'd lose my eye. My son needs his medicine. What would he do? So, it's like he's tried to go to work and he gets so sick, and when you're sick and you can't work, what happens? He's tried going back to school and he gets to school, he ends up getting sick and he can't be there. So what happens? Now he's stuck with school loans that he has to pay back. And he'll do it. He'll get it once we get him better, and we're hoping that this gets him better. There you go. And we're not putting nuts in these, oh honey. So, anyway, let's get off of a subject that has nothing to do but fix our insurance problems. Mr. Trump, please fix our insurance problems. Call me and ask me about insurance problems. Get these so-called businessmen out of the insurance game and get some doctors in there.
Grandma, I have a question. Can you open this? I can't open it.
Yeah. Probably can. Let's see. Oh, my hands are all icky. Your thing's going to be icky.
Hey, we're baking. Everything's gonna get dirty.
Anyway, politics. Politics.
Graham, we're baking. You don't need to know about politics.
Oh, I was turning it the wrong way. It would help if I turned it the right way, right?
Yeah, it would.
What is it? Tighty, righty, lefty, loosey? I didn't even know. See, it wasn't working for me. See, that way mine turned. Yours turned the opposite way. I wonder why. Must have come from Australia, I guess, huh? So, anyway, we're going to be ready to put it into our bowls. And when it's done, we will click back on and we'll show you what it looks like. Thank you. We'll be back. Blah, 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 blah. Granddaughter. Woo! Okay. We'll be back when it's done.